Over the years, countless cities and technologies have been lost to the ocean due to either earthquakes or simply rising tides in the local areas. But we haven't just lost items and buildings to these waters. We've often lost large portions of history which are unlikely to ever be recovered, leaving many of these findings a mystery to modern civilization. Number 5. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. The Baltic Sea Anomaly is a 200-foot circular rock formation found on the ocean floor in the northern portion of the Baltic Sea. It was discovered during a Swedish diving mission called Ocean X in June of 2011. The team investigated the strange object and stated that it rests on top of a pillar, with a staircase next to it leading into a dark hole, leading alien theorists to believe that this may be some sort of ancient extraterrestrial UFO. The team that discovered the object says that they typically scavenge the ocean floor looking for antique alcoholic drinks and historic artifacts, typically with the intent of selling them to collectors. The team described the object as seemingly to be made of rough granite-like material, but it's hard to say for sure what type of rock it's made of, if it's even rock. They also say that there's a smaller object next to it, resembling a runway, similar to what would be used for airplanes nowadays. The team took a sample of the object, which later showed that the object was, among other things, made of limonite and goethite, materials which many geologists believe cannot be produced naturally, indicating that the object is likely man-made. A Swedish naval officer took a look at the team's findings and suggested that the object may actually be the remains of a German anti-submarine device, which could have been left over from World War II. Other scientists and journalists then stated that the object could be anything from a sunken turret to a petrified school of fish, though none of these theories have any scientific evidence to back them up. To this day, no one knows what this object is or where it came from. Number 4. USS Scorpion. In May of 1968, a United States submarine dubbed the Scorpion was sent on a mission to secretly spy on the Russian Navy. However, just 1 week later, the United States Navy realized something horrible. The submarine had gone completely missing. The Scorpion was a skipjack-class attack submarine and was one of the first of its kind. Its final assembly was done in August of 1958, with the first mission taking place in July of 1960. Skipjack submarines were much smaller than many of the subs we know today, measuring at just 252 feet long and 31 feet wide. They contained a crew of 99, 12 of whom were officers. These types of submarines were nuclear-powered, giving them a top speed of around 35 miles per hour or 56 kilometers per hour, which is quite impressive at the time. The Scorpion was just over 10 years old at the time of its loss, which is still considered to be quite new. However, complaints came pouring in by the crew that the ship had already started to show its age. The crew reported chronic issues with the hydraulic systems, claimed that the emergency blow system didn't function properly, among many other issues. In fact, just 2 months before it went missing, Commander Francis Atwood claimed that the ship was in a, quote, very poor state of preservation, and many of the crew members had lost all faith in the ship's ability to continue being commissioned. The ship was sent out on its final mission on May 20th, 1968. Its goal was to observe the Russian activity within the vicinity of the Canary Islands. On May 21st, the crew aboard the ship radioed in to update their status and give an estimated date of return of May 27th, stating all activities were proceeding as planned. This was the final transmission ever received by the Scorpion. By May 28th, it was widely assumed that the ship had been destroyed, a theory that later proved to be correct as its remnants were found later on, concluding that the ship had somehow exploded. However, no one knows exactly what happened to cause this. One theory suggests that the Scorpion's torpedoes may have accidentally exploded while in the chamber. This theory is backed by the fact that the ship was at one point registered as traveling in the opposite direction than it should have been, a technique often implemented in order to activate the torpedo's friendly fire fail-safe mechanism. Another theory suggests that the ship may have encountered a fatal leak, causing seawater to pour in under the ship's battery, resulting in an explosion, as the ship was known to have had a faulty part that could have resulted in this taking place. Finally, it's also possible that the Scorpion could have encountered a hydrogen explosion while charging one of its batteries. At the time the explosion took place, the submarine could have been in the midst of closing its hatches, resulting in hydrogen gas buildup in the battery compartment, causing the ship to explode. However, these are all just theories, and it's very likely that we'll never know what happened to the USS Scorpion. Number 3. Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument is an unexplainable underwater rock formation found just off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan. Scientists who have studied the formation are unsure whether it's man-made or if it's some sort of naturally occurring phenomena. The monument was discovered in 1987 by a diver who was looking for a secluded area to observe sharks. He swam around for a bit before stumbling into a strange formation that he said resembled architectonic structures, or structures that aren't naturally occurring. The monument is made of sandstone and mudstone that scientists say may have been deposited here over 20 million years ago, with most of the formations being deeply connected to rock masses underneath. The most recognizable feature of the structure is a rectangular formation measuring about 500 feet tall and 130 feet wide, or 150 meters by 40 meters, with the top being just below sea level. Many geologists who have studied the site believe that it's naturally occurring, but that it may have been altered by humans in the past, pointing to the fact that most of the materials contained within the monument are commonly found on the ocean floor, but that the sharp 90-degree angles most definitely appear to be man-made. There are also etchings or drawings that have been seen on the side of the monument, further indicating that the formation is not 100% natural. However, many insist that the object is completely man-made, believing that it could be the remnants of some ancient underwater city, or possibly even an altar of some sort. Researchers further insist that the sheer amount of detail, combined with the fact that there appear to be signs of someone attempting to carve hallways into the rock, indicate that it was man-made to begin with, but was flooded while still in production, as many of the structure's features appear to be unfinished. Researchers who prefer the man-made theory also claim that pyramids, roads, and a colosseum can be identified in the rubble, stating that it may have been created around 10,000 years ago and could be evidence of the lost continent of Mu. Number 2. The city of Pavlo-Petri. A few miles off the coast of Laconia, divers have found remnants of the lost city of Pavlo-Petri, estimated to be around 5,000 years old. The city is named after two Christian saints by the names of Peter and Paul, with the name literally meaning Peter and Paul's stone, though this is just a modern name given to the site as much isn't known about its origins. The city was discovered in 1967 and was mapped out by a team of archaeologists in 1968. The site was originally estimated to be from 1600 BC, though further investigation reveals that it's more likely to have been built around 2800 BC. The town is believed to have been submerged by water around 1000 BC due to earthquakes in the area. In 2009, a group of divers set out to remap the site and digitally survey the area with 3D imaging, covering an area of about 2.2 acres or 9,000 square meters. The city was found to be home to at least 15 buildings, submerged in just about 3 or 4 meters of water, causing it to be in great danger of boats passing by while dragging anchors or even tourists. Further investigation was done on the town in late 2009, and it's now believed that the city was the center point of a successful textile industry, as divers found evidence of looms and fabrics. In addition to this, they recovered pottery jars, which were used to further support the age of the city. There hasn't been much research done on the area since 2009, but many are hopeful to acquire more information regarding this city in the coming years. Number 1. The world's oldest city. There lies an underwater city just off the coast of Kambat, a city in India that many researchers believe is the oldest city known to man. The city was discovered in May of 2001 by a company performing routine pollution studies in the area. The city spans 9 kilometers and can be found at a depth of just 30 meters below sea level. When the city's finding was announced to the public, it was represented as being a likely urban settlement, predating any civilizations that have been found today. Following its initial discovery, further investigations were done in 2002 and 2003, during which researchers found signs of old rivers and possible homes. They also managed to recover pottery, flint used for starting fires, wood used in roofing, and multiple hearths where food would have been prepared. The most recent studies done in the area were in late 2003 and early 2004. Following these studies, the artifacts recovered from the area were carbon dated and expected to be from around 7100 BC to 7500 BC. To put that into perspective, that's 5,000 years before the Egyptian pyramids would have been built. Though some researchers claim that the artifacts appear to be from much earlier. Because of the excessively long amount of time that the city has been underwater, there isn't much information available on the area, as most useful materials would have deteriorated or washed away thousands of years ago. Though these findings do shed a great amount of light on just how far we've come as a species in such a short amount of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos.